Alright, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a really quick story time, and when I say really quick, it really is going to be quick. I don't want to make this a long, drawn-out story. So let me just cut to the chase. I know y'all looking at the title like, sis, what? Yeah, okay. So I have to really tell y'all the backstory to tell y'all the front story. Does that make any sense? I think it does. So anyways, if my makeup looks a little crazy, I have been at work. Those of you who've been following me for a while, y'all know I work in a medical setting. I have to wear a mask all day. So if you see stripes kind of going here on my face, I have to wear a mask all day and it ruins my makeup. Okay, but I'll spill out the way. So anyways, I was at work one day. And guys, I had done got off early, and so I decided to get work done at the office. I work in a dental office. I decided to get work done there. You know, I was going to another dentist, and I just didn't like the way they did things. So everybody was like, Erin, just go here, just go here. So I'm like, okay, I really didn't want to go there because I'm like, I don't really want y'all out of my business, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But I'm just like, whatever, you know, I get a discount, then I can like use my insurance and you know, all that goody stuff. So, anyways, this particular day I got off early, and since I got off early, I was like, well, you know, I can go ahead and do me like a cleaning here and, you know, do all things here. So I was like, yeah, we can fit you on the schedule because the schedule's kind of dropping off. We're a little slow. We can squeeze you in. I was like, okay. So anyways, like I went through my cleaning or whatever, and then I went through my exam. So in the exam, I needed a couple cavities filled, and so when I got done, the dentist was like, hey, you know, since the schedule dropped off, you want to go ahead and take care of some of those cavities. So I'm just like, yeah, sure, or whatever. So I get back there, and you know, I'm really nervous and stuff. And y'all know I got tattoos, piercings, all that, but I'm so afraid of needles, it's ridiculous. So anyways, guys, I got back there and I passed out. Okay, all I know is that he was numbing me. He was giving me the local anesthetic, and next thing you know, I'm waking up in the back of an ambulance, and they're shaking me, and they're just like, ma'am, do you know where you are? Do you know where you are? I'm like, everything's all cut. I'm like, last time I checked, I was at such and such or whatever. Like, I'm looking at them all crazy. I was like, were you in the back of an ambulance? You passed out? I said, I would. I'm like, y'all giving free rides. You know, y'all know me, you know? So it's like, I'm confused. I'm like, how did this happen? So yeah, got to the emergency room, which if y'all don't know by now, those ambulance rides are the bumpiest rides in the nation. Then when they was getting me out of the ambulance, they was hitting every wall. Y'all, I was like, oh, thank God I don't have no broken bones, because they was boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam. I'm like, so anyways, guys, you know the whole spiel with the ambulance visit. Okay, anyway, you know the whole spiel with the ambulance visit. They have to run all these tests and things like that. So they took blood, they run tests, they did all that or whatever. I was there forever. So when they came back with cut to the chase, I was there for hours and hours and hours. My manager was there or whatever. Everybody was like really concerned and stuff. I'm on some stuff like, I want to go home. I don't know how this happened. I'm ready to go. I was so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I didn't pass. I didn't work. And I know to these people, I think I'm crazy. I don't want people to feel sorry for me or anything like that. Like, I honestly don't know what it was. I just know I was really anxious, and then it just happened. So anyways, they come back or whatever, and they're just like, we want to do a CAT scan, we want to do this, we want to do that, I'm like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. Can y'all go home? Or whatever. So they was like, okay, well, you know, we'll take blood, we'll check your, you know, like blood and all that stuff like that, and we'll just make sure everything is okay, and then we'll send you home with your test or whatever. I'm like, okay. So they took blood and stuff, and they was like, everything came back fine, Miss Ross, and you're free to go. Sign my papers, and I left. Okay, boom. A week later, I wanted a new primary care physician because the one that I was seeing, he was on some other ish. So I ended up going to another person. Now, I was recommended this person by my gynecologist. I was just asking her, hey, you know, I need a new primary care physician. Could you recommend anyone? And she was like, oh, girl, of course I can recommend someone. I can recommend you to the doctor that I go to. So I'm just like, okay, cool. So she calls them and lets them know about me. She sends over my information and things like that, and you know, they give me a call. I set it up. Anyway, it was for the following Friday. Okay, so I had passed out Friday, so this is for the following Friday. So, you know, I'm getting ready to go. I have an appointment at 10 o'clock or whatever. So I get ready to go to my appointment. I get there. Everyone's nice, friendly, or whatever. They run a lot of tests. I tell him about what happened. And so he was like, well, since this is the same hospital, since you were admitted to the same hospital, it was just in a different area. It's the same, though. The databases are connected. So so I can look at your blood levels and everything like that. He's asking me was I diabetic and stuff, and I was just like, no. You know, he was just asking me all kinds of things. So we go over there. So he's like, well, I'm gonna, you know, run some more tests and I'm going to compare the tests. And I said, okay. So he comes back in the room after they did all kind of tests, child. So he comes back in the room and he was like, well, did they give you any type of medicine when you were in the emergency room last Friday after passing out at work? And I was like, no, they actually told me that everything came back normal. And y'all know I talk with my hands, okay? If you've been following me since 100 subscribers, I talk with my hands. I'm sorry. So anyways, he was just like, well, your potassium level was really, really low. And I'm like, okay. But I noticed that when I had passed out, and I was in the emergency room, I was asking them questions, stuff like that. I noticed that I was super, super weak. Like, I could not lift my arms. I couldn't even lift my body up. I was just really weak. I was questioning them and asking them, did you all give me anything in the back of the ambulance? It's anybody, like, what's going on? Have y'all given me a muscle relaxer? Because I was that weak. And even my manager that was with me in the emergency room a week prior, she had asked them too. She was like, she can't move. Like, what is going on? They were like, we didn't give her anything. But then the ambulance people were saying that when they actually got me from my job, like when they got me and put me, you know, on a stretcher and took me to the thing or whatever, they were saying that I was balled up. Like my muscles were locked up. I was like balled up in a ball. So that's why I was so weak, I'm guessing, because like I was like unballing and relaxing my muscles. So yeah, my body was just trying to relax itself, and that's why I was so weak, because I was like stuck. You know, kind of like when your hands get like cramped up, my body was like that. So anyway, I was telling him about that. I was like, yeah, they told me I was balled up, and he was like, yeah, that has a lot to do with your potassium. And he was like, it was really low. So what I want to do is, he was like, there's a lot of factors that could play into that. So what I want to do is I want to send you down to the lab, which it was, the doctor's office was on the 4th floor and the lab was also. He's like, it's just down the hallway, 2 doors down. Go down to the lab, we're going to get some blood. The blood is just so I can check your potassium levels and some other kind of levels or whatever. And so I was like, okay, cool. So and then he was saying, you know, after the blood tests come back, you know, I'll call you, I'll see if I need to bring you back in or prescribe you some medicine. So I'm like, cool. I go down to the lab, and of course they were expecting me. So they took blood and everything, and then I left. It was a fast process, you know. It was nobody in there. I just went straight to the back and, you know, did the do. So well, they took the blood. All right, so they ended up taking like a lot of blood from me. That's why I was kind of like, okay, what kind of test am I supposed to take? Because this is a lot of blood. So it was a lot of blood to me. Like, it was the whole little thing to feel. I was like, what's going on? So anyways, I ended up leaving the doctor at like 11. Okay, so I get home or whatever, you know, I'm going on about my day, being Aaron. So now I get a call at like 4:45. And so, child, you know the number one saves. So I'm like, should I answer? So anyways, I get a call and I answer. I was like, hi, Miss Frost, this is the lab. And I was like, oh, okay. It was like, well, you gave blood earlier this morning. I said, yeah. I was like, did the results come back already? I didn't know they would come back this fast. And they were like, no. No, they didn't. We actually ran into a problem. So I was like, okay, what's the problem? Or whatever. So it was a guy talking about. I was like, what's the problem? And so he was like, well, we lost your blood. I said, come again and say what? He was like, yeah, we lost your blood. The lady who took your blood, she didn't put a label on it. It ended up getting mixed up, and we don't know where it is. It didn't even make it to the lab, so we're not sure, you know, where it's at. So we need you to come back and do it again. I was like, huh? I said, okay. I said, that's just really crazy to me. I'm trying to be professional, because I have a friend and he's always like, always be professional. You know, I'm trying so hard, but I'm get a little upset. Okay, because I don't like shots anyway. So then I said, okay. I was like, well, do you guys need me to come back now? He was like, well, it's 4:45, and this was Friday. He was like, well, it's 4:45. We would rather you come back like Monday, because we are about to close. Okay, we close at 5. So I was like, okay. When I got off the phone, I was really upset, because I was just like, I just feel like that is negligence. Like, how do you do that? Are you that ready to go home that you're not paying attention to what you're doing? What do you mean? It got lost. It didn't make it to the lab. It did not have a label on it. What are y'all doing when it comes to, that's not just losing a drink or a pen or a piece of paper or some candy. That is losing somebody's blood. Like, I don't understand. Or whatever. Like, I just couldn't wrap my mind around it, and I didn't want to go back. I kept debating on it, you know, but then I have to be I have to look at the brighter side of things, which I always try to do, even though sometimes it's freaking hard. I was trying to think like, okay, well, at least the guy was keeping it 100 with me. Okay, because, I mean, let's be real. Nobody's really going to call and say that. They'll probably say, oh, we just need it for further testing, or we need to do this, or we need to do this. But he was 1,000 with me, so I do appreciate that. Okay, and then they could have just slapped the label on some other kind of blood and ran a test and then call and say, hey, you got this, 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 and that. You know, and I really didn't have it. They just did it just for the sake of doing it. So I had to try to look on the brighter side, and I had to try to calm myself down. But in all reality, I was just really scared. And I was just like, y'all gotta pay attention to what you're doing. What if I couldn't make it back? Or what if it was just a lot of factors that played into that? I'm like, does that happen often? Like, how does that happen? If you work in healthcare and you're a phlebotomist or a nurse or whatever case may be, how does that happen? Is it that I noticed, like, I did end up going back and letting them draw blood because I have a friend, and he was just like, just go back, you know, just, you know, they told you, don't freak out. I'm sure it was an honest mistake. Just calm down, Erin. Sometimes you just get so up in arms. I'm like, but that's a big deal. Like, does nobody else see this as a big deal? Does nobody else see this as a big deal? Am I the only one that's blowing this out of proportion? Let me know. If you feel like I blew it out of proportion, let me know. Just let me know. If you got a call and somebody told you that, how would you feel? But I need my phlebotomists, my nurses, and things like that. Like, answer that for me. Is that a common thing that you just forget to put labels on stuff and things get mixed up and never end up where it's supposed to be? I'm trying to, how does that happen? But I noticed when they took blood the second time, he had the tube. Okay, he drew the blood, he had the tube, and he put the label on it after. So maybe she drew it and just set it to the side or something. Like, I have no idea, but does that happen often? And I know I have a lot of healthcare medical people. Let me know. You lab like people, let me know. You know, I mean, I don't deal with blood so much. I mean, I work in a dental office, but it's not like we don't draw blood or anything. So that's why I'm trying to see my phlebotomists, doctors, nurses, and all that sort. What is this a normal thing? That's all I want to know. So yeah, y'all, I was just kind of upset. I was kind of apprehensive. I was really, really scared because I was like, should I go back? You know, what if this happens again? Then I got to thinking all this stupid stuff like, was the stuff even clean? Is this stuff sterile? You know, my mind just started going left, right, and all different kind of ways because I was scared. Because now I'm just like, why is this happening? You know, that's why I don't know. But let me know if I overreacted. You guys know I'm open to that. Be respectful. Okay. But just let me know, like, how would you feel? Would you just kind of like brush it off and be like, okay, I'll come back. Everyone makes mistakes. Or would you be up in arms like me? Because I need to know. Because I was on some stuff like, that's negligence. Okay, that is negligence. Okay, so anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this story time because I just lied and said I didn't want it to be long. And it's going to be kind of long. So that's pretty much it. Don't forget to leave some commentary for me, guys, so we can discuss in the comments like we always do. And I'll definitely see y'all in my next one. Bye, bye, bye. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, girl, so you can see more of my crazy tale. See ya.